Hello, I'm Grayson Ottaway. Welcome back. This is Marvelous Videos. Pitt Origin Explored. A first look at Pitt might make you feel that, yeah, this guy is definitely a villain. I mean, who wouldn't think so? He certainly looks the part with his scary red eyes and huge body, but that is actually far from the truth. Yes, he is scary and doesn't hesitate in killing his foes, but at the same time, he's a brother who cherishes his relationship and takes initiative to do good, even though he was genetically created to be a killing machine. So how did Pitt's existence come to be? Let's find out. Before we get into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, we'd love it if you would support us by subscribing to this channel. Very small click for you, but for us, it means a dang lot. Thank you. Let's go. Pitt's tragic origin explored. Pitt was created by Dale Keown and first appeared in the issue of Youngblood number 4 in 1992. He's known to be a human-alien hybrid, genetically engineered by the Creed and served as their ruthless murdering machine. Pitt's tragic story began even before he was born. His parents, Alan and Annie Bracken, were kidnapped by the Creed, and Zoivod took one of the eggs from a pregnant Annie. This egg was then genetically rearranged with alien DNA to one day become a weapon. When Pitt woke up, he managed to escape, but was interrupted by wrath. Everyone thought Pitt had died and his body was dumped. However, Pitt was still very much alive and attacking the person who was supposed to dump him. He fled from the scene. Living in the wild on his own, Pitt learned how to fight and hunt. He eventually found his way back to the same person who was going to dump him, named Quag, who trained Pitt to become an assassin. When Pitt went to the planet Chakra, he ended up getting his mind merged with a boy named G-Rib, and the two then began to have a shared consciousness. Becoming one with G-Rib changed Pitt in many ways, and he escaped from his home world, making his way to Earth. He ended up on a subway in New York City, where he witnessed a young boy and his grandfather getting harassed by thugs. He saves the two, and only later realizes that the child was none other than his half-brother, Timmy. Pitt and G-Rib later realize that they are being hunted by the Creed, and this also put Timmy in danger, as they were looking for Pitt using a DNA recognition system, and thus it might lead them to Timmy. Pitt rushes to rescue Timmy and battles the Creed aliens, finally defeating Zoivod. Hulk versus Pitt. The fight between the Hulk and Pitt started in an alternate reality. It was a fight which was spread across realities, and the center of each was the boy named Timmy. In the present day, Rick Jones visits an orphanage in Pittsdale. The manager of the orphanage tells Jones about a boy named Timmy, who is a fan of Jones and has read his book many times. She tells him about how they found Timmy, who had just shown up at a playground one day, talking about a monster named Pitt who was after him, and the police then brought him to the orphanage. Jones goes to meet Timmy and asks him about his story, to which Timmy tells him that all he wants is his mum back. Meanwhile, in a different part of the city, Darla, one of the orphanage's caseworkers, is seen making a painting of a sunset. Suddenly, a dimensional portal opens next to her and pulls her in, while Pitt emerges from the same portal in his search for Timmy. His bond with Timmy takes him to the boy. Meanwhile, the Hulk can be seen watching Jones outside of the orphanage. He then walks off into the forest and witnesses two lovers, while reminiscing about his own lost relationship. Pitt, on the other hand, gets into an altercation with the police and attacks them as they are an obstacle to his goal of reaching Timmy. The Hulk gets attacked by the police too, who thinks he is the monster that they're looking for. This causes confusion as the police squads coordinate amongst themselves to share the information about the monster being in two different parts of the city, not realizing it's actually two monsters. Listening to the dispatch on one of the cars that Hulk had destroyed, he realizes that the other monster is heading towards the very orphanage where he saw Jones. At the orphanage, a lady suddenly comes into the room, whom Timmy claims to be his mother. Even though Jones is skeptical, he lets Timmy leave with the woman. This is the very moment that Hulk reaches the orphanage and sees the two, noticing how similar the woman looks to his own mother. Timmy senses that Pitt is close by, and Timmy's mother asks Hulk to help them. Hulk meets Pitt in the middle of the road, approaching the forest, and the two clash like mighty warriors. Pitt keeps telling Hulk that he needs to reach Timmy as he is bound to the little kid. Hulk dismisses his claims, and the two land harsh blows on each other. In the meanwhile, Timmy and his mother make their escape in the woman's car. Soon, though, we see that the woman's appearance changes to that of Darla. On the other hand, the two monsters' fighting escalates, and Pitt tries to get away to follow Timmy. The two clash on a football field, and Pitt's words of sorrow somehow manage to move the Hulk. In the car, Timmy gets upset that his mother has turned back to Darla and despairs that this is not what he wants. Darla comes to her senses, but Timmy's tantrum gets her to crash into a pole, and the car gets stranded on a train track as a train approaches rapidly. Jones arrives at the scene and tries to get the two out of the car, but Timmy keeps despairing and refuses to get out. Jones somehow manages to get an unconscious Darla out of the car. As the train comes closer, Hulk jumps onto the tracks and puts himself between the car and the train and manages to save Timmy's life. Pitt thanks Hulk for saving Timmy's life, as he claimed Timmy was the only one who mattered to him. Hulk gets agitated by this alien being more humane than him and clashes with him again. The two crash into a human, and Jones and Timmy rush to the place. Jones tries to stop Timmy from being involved, but Timmy says that this was all his fault and he needs to make it right. He altered reality because the actual reality sucked, and all he wanted was to change it, so things could be as he wanted them to be. He changes things again and is seen to be reunited with his grandfather in a museum. Darla finds herself on the other side of the city, but blames it all on a dream. Jones is left extremely confused about what his surroundings are and picks up a book titled Last Stand on Planet Earth. He reads about General Hilk and General Pitt, who are each other's sworn enemies. Jones finally realizes what happened and drops the book as he rushes out. What makes Pitt so deadly? Pitt possesses many strong physical powers. He has unmeasured superhuman strength and can hold his ground against immensely powerful foes like Invincible and Supreme. He uses the muscles in his legs to propel himself to great heights and can travel up to 10 miles in a single jump. Naturally, he has great stamina and can fight for prolonged times without difficulty. To him, pain is a stimulant that he uses to become even more bloodthirsty than usual, so he rarely has any effects from injuries. He has great superhuman durability, allowing him to be unaffected by most attacks, even bullets doing superficial damage even if they break the skin. He has extendable claws that are quite helpful for fighting and attacking his enemies. His accelerated healing abilities allow him to recover very quickly. He has some telepathic abilities, allowing him to read the minds of the people in his vicinity, and allow him to establish a mental link with them that he uses to track his enemies. This makes him a very skilled tracker as well. Pitt's character can often be misunderstood at the beginning because of his violent nature, but you know what they say, never judge a book by its cover. A saying that perfectly sums up Pitt's situation. No matter how scary he seems, there is a tenderness and righteousness in him that allows him to be a brother to Timmy and directs him to do good and help other people in this world. Again, if you like our content, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Thank you so very much for watching. Have a good one and be safe.